Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Sensible Senko session. Today, once again, Abigail's not here. She's actually on a train to Darlington at the moment, out to do a school review for their SEN department. So you've got stuck with me, unfortunately. Um, so today we have the delights of Sue from Widget, and I'm going to put Sue beside me at this point here. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Gavin. Nice to see you again.
It is
I
nice to
don't
see
fancy a
you.
journey to Darlington, so glad to be in the office.
It's only a 4-hour train though for her, so you know she's got nothing else to do with her time, obviously.
Don't
And
let her hear you saying that.
I should be sitting there watching it now, saying stuff to me. Let's do stuff. So we're going to be talking about InPrint 4. Now I've used InPrint 3 so far, and I'm sure you're going to go between the differences between the two systems as we
I
kind of
will
go
do,
through
yes.
this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'll also throw in as well a little bit of what the differences between InPrint and Widget Online are, because I know that's something that very often is asked as well. So we'll probably start there, yes.
Okay, and if anybody has any questions, please leave them to the end or write them down on a piece of paper, leave them to the end, and we'll come back for a Q&A piece at the end of it, if there's time. Okay, so Sue, I'm going to pass it over to you now, if you're ready with your
Lovely.
screen share, and then we'll
Yeah,
see
we'll
how this all
do.
goes. All right?
Okay, thank you very much. So thanks everybody for the opportunity of sharing InPrint 4 with you. I will share my screen and then hopefully we can see it. Window, InPrint 4. Yeah, so I can certainly see it, so I'm hoping that you can as well. But before I get started on explaining the differences between Widget Online, between InPrint 3 and InPrint 4, I do want to address the issue that I just mentioned to Gavin there about the differences between Widget Online and InPrint, because often we are asked about that, and I know it does cause some issue when people are trying to decide which is the most appropriate software. The most obvious difference, I guess, is that Widget Online is a cloud-based program. So you access it from your browser through an internet connection, whereas InPrint is a desktop program. So it needs to be installed on Windows machines. It doesn't work on Macs, I'm afraid. It is a Windows desktop installation. And potentially will need to be installed by an administrator as well, which can sometimes be an issue, I know, for schools and sort of NHS organisations. Um, InPrint has a flexibility of design, so it allows you to design your own resources and amend and redesign the templates, whereas Widget Online is more what we say template driven. So we give you a lot of fixed templates in Widget Online versus the ability to design your own templates and amend the templates that are available in InPrint. So it's that flexibility really. The other big difference, or another big difference, is the ability in InPrint to write symbolized sentences within a cell. Widget Online will allow you to have a maximum of 2 symbols in any cell within the template editor. So it's very different in terms of the content that you can put within a cell within a template. And then finally, I guess, is the dual language option. So if you want to be able to create something with 2 languages, that can only be done in Widget Online. It's not available in InPrint. However, InPrint does have, and I will show you this because this is a relatively new feature, a presentation mode. So it allows you to export resources that you've created directly into Google Slides or PowerPoint. And predictably, I'm just about to have a coughing fit. Do excuse me just a moment. Okay. Right, hopefully that's gone, but might come back again. So we are looking on the screen at InPrint 4. Those of you that are familiar with InPrint 3 will automatically see a very different looking interface. On the left-hand side, we have new, and new means basically starting from scratch. Now that could be starting from scratch in a blank document, or it could be starting from scratch in a template. So rather than having the two distinguishing things, 3, you now just have the tab new. The second tab is resource, resources that have been created ready-made for you that come as part of the InPrint 4 subscription. Open allows you to go directly into folders and open directly from there, rather than finding things on your network drive and then dragging them into InPrint. And then obviously you've got their support at the bottom as well. So that's where you can find out all about the software and obviously our help manuals, etc. The top of this new interface shows you what we call pinned templates. Now, these are templates that we think are the most used within our software. And so we've pinned them somewhere where it's really, really quick for you to get hold of them, and they're accessible, and you don't have to go into the templates folders. The ones that we've chosen are fixed. You can't remove those, but you can add your own pinned templates. And again, that's something that we can look at when we go into the software, so that you're able to have your own favorites on that top menu bar without having to go and find them in all the different folders. So again, those of you that are familiar with our software in the past will see that there are a lot more template folders. And within those template folders, there are a lot more templates. So we do recognize that you can make your own. We do recognize that you can amend and edit any of the templates that we've provided. However, we also recognize that people are very busy. So if we've given you a jolly good starting point, hopefully you won't have to change very much, if anything at all, and it means it's much quicker for you to create your own resources by populating with the vocabulary that you want to put in. So I'm just going to open one of these first of all and show you some basics, and then I want to show you some of our favorites as well. So I'm opening flashcards. It's just a one click to get into things now as well. It used to be a double click, so saving on the clicks on the mouse. So this is flashcards, some very basic flashcards, but then some more complex ones towards the end. So we have added quite a lot of different templates here. What we've also done is added exemplars. Never say that word. So examples for each of the template shapes, and those are marked with a light bulb. So if we went into, for example, the 2x1 landscape example here, so here is the template, here are the examples, exemplar. I just click on that. So this gives you an idea of what you can do with this particular template. Now, obviously, flashcards, quite straightforward, but in terms of, you can change the background colours, you can change the sizes of things that you put in. You can add in, obviously, different border colours to background colours. I could have symbol only. I could add in a photograph. I can have text above, text below. So the examples are intended to give you just that, examples of what you can do with that particular template. Heading back is File, so that's the same as it always was, same as Word, Microsoft, etc. and we go back into that folder. Now, obviously, with flashcards, they're fairly straightforward to fill in, but hopefully the different ideas of things that you can do with it, and again, we can look at that if we've got time as to how you actually do generate all of those. It just gives you lots of different thoughts and ways to fill it in. Back home takes me back to those resource folders. So just to illustrate some of these different templates, what I thought I would do is choose a favourite one from each of the teams. So we have a reasonably sized education team. Everybody obviously has their different strengths and their different interests. So I've chosen their favourite templates just to illustrate some of the new ones. So one of mine is in the forms and questionnaires. So as an ex-SENCO myself, I really wish that I had access to these different templates because it would have made pupil voice gathering, surveys, questionnaires, everything, pupil passports, so much more easy to create because, as I say, we've done all of that work for you.
Okay.
Right, so we've got the reading questionnaire now.
Yep, I can see the reading
Yes?
questionnaire now. Yes.
Right, okay. Now what I want to do is see what happens if I fill that in as an example.
Okay.
So can you see that now that says, do you enjoy reading
Do you
in
enjoy
school?
reading in schools? Yep.
Perfect. So this is a filled in example of that blank questionnaire. All right, let's see what happens when we try and find another one. So I was saying that we've got scales and emotion support folders as well. So in the scales, can we see those?
Yep, that's all changing nicely now.
Perfect. Okay, I think we've got there.
Yep.
We've got the Carrie Dunbar on incredible 5-point scales and some rainbow scales here. And we're saying that my colleagues Elle and Sally really like the rainbow coloured ones. I guess they like all the different colours, and that gives us 6 different levels. So here's one with 3 columns. Hoping we've got that. Yeah, and then filled in again. Lost it. There we go. So this is a filled in example. So this is how I might feel in the middle in these particular places, and this is what I might do to alleviate those feelings. So it really nice templates. Again, you can change the colors, you can change all the rest of it, and again we'll have a look at that, although doing that is the same as InPrint 3. Right, moving on then to some of the other folders. Becca, who does all of our social media, and you've hopefully seen her in some of the communication board and symbol friendly Instagram posts and Facebook posts. She's very much into communication. So one of her favorite templates is in the communication folder and is the placement. So this is again one that we've given you. So here's the blank. And then the example has been effectively coloured. So again, it gives you an idea of how you might fill it in and the sorts of core language that you might use to support communication around dinner in school or at home. Another really nice one, and again, you might have seen some of our social media posts on this one, is the tabbed lanyard. So very popular tabbed lanyards. So you can create your lanyards, but with the tabs on the side that then mean they're much easier to find as you're working through with a young person. So if I just scroll down the side there, you can see at the end it would look something like this with each of these tabs being populated, and again the completed one with the light bulb. Let's scroll to the bottom. We didn't make a bottom one of this, but each one of these is in a different place. So when they're cut out, they tab through the space, and you can wear those as a much easier way of finding things on your lanyards. So that's communication. We've also got some really nice templates now in our numbers folder. Particularly, one of the new ones there is a tally chart. So I'll show you the filled in one for that one. But again, it's a template that can be very easily used and created from there. And then Stan is one of our resource creators, very scientific, knowledge-based gentleman. So a lot of the science resources Stan has made, and he likes some of the quizzes in the science folder. So let's just have a final look at one of these. Again, you can see all the different ranges there. Here's a blank one. So this is a quiz where you can get your answers yes or no, and the example of that being filled in would look like this. So hopefully that's given you a whistle-stop tour through templates. And I did, when we were not screen sharing properly, show how to save a favorite template onto the pinned board. So I'll go through that again. So if we look at Stan's quiz, so it's you're choosing the blank template, not one of the examples. So a right click, pin this template, and that will put it up onto your template bar. Now you can add as many of these as you want. It just keeps going to the right. If you don't want it pinned anymore, you've decided you don't want to use this particular one, or you want to replace it with another one, then again, a right click on the template and unpin, and that will remove it from that pinned bar at the top. So those are templates. There's now over 350 different templates. I will come back to presentations in a moment and talk about the templates there and the presentation mode. That is something, again, that's new to subscription software. So it was in InPrint 3. It's obviously also in InPrint 4 subscriptions, but not in the perpetual model. So now I want to, again, new things are to look at resource packs. So we have a lot of new resource packs. So this is just, the icons are just loading on this. Hopefully they will load fairly quickly. Anything that is in a buff coloured folder will have a series of resources within it. Anything that is in the red square, effectively, or is a complete activity in its own right. So these ones that we've put here at the top are the most popular of our resources. The well-being, very, very popular. That one, if you've not seen it, it's well worth looking at. And you can, in fact, download that for free as a PDF from the website, even if you don't have InPrint 4. Early years and the classroom packs, we had these in Widget Online. We've recreated and amended and extended them for InPrint. Really loads of lovely colourful semantics resources. And the Dementia pack, again, this is free as a PDF on the website. So if you know anybody for who this would benefit, please feel free to pass on the free PDF from the website, but also let them know that it is available to edit in both InPrint 4 and in Widget Online. Lots of different resources available in the topic folders, and there are also, I don't know why the logo hasn't loaded there, but lots of presentation resources. And again, I'm going to come back to those in a minute. What we have done for InPrint is added internal help sheets. Now, we always had help sheets on the website, and I can show you where you can find those in a moment as well. But we've added some internal ones to InPrint 4 to help guide you through some of the changes and the features that are available, with the addition of practice tasks, if you like. So if I wanted to, let's find the recolor some symbols. done in exactly the same way in all of our software. Nothing's changed there. I have got all the information here that I could read and find out how to do it, but I've also got some practice examples that I can do within the program. So it just keeps the help within the program and makes it more practical and easier to use for those that are sort of learning their way through the software. So those help sheets are really good. Right, I'm going to close down a few of these just for speed and also so that we don't go on the wrong one again. And what I want to do now is go into the software itself and show you one of the new features. And then I'm going to go and show you presentation mode. Obviously, we've lost a bit of time because of the mine not showing the screen properly, so apologies, but I'm sure we'll still manage to get through everything and have time for questions. So I'm going back to new, and I'm going to open just a simple flashcard. And lo and behold, 2x3 is one of the favourite ones. So we could use the one on the pinned board there, but I want to use a 3x2 landscape, which I'm also going to pin because it's one I use a lot. So I'm going to right click, pin this template, and it appears up here on my pinned template bar. One left click gets me into it. And I'm going to populate this with some emotions. So just bear with me a moment. I'll type them in. So again, exactly the same as we've always done. Type and tab, and then you move into the next cell very easily. That's what I am for doing it wrong. This is what you are because I've made the mistakes. And we're all probably getting a bit hungry now at the end of the day. Whoops. Hungry now at the end of the day as well. Okay, so range of emotions. Now, we've always been able to change the skin tone of our symbols by clicking in the cell and going to the skin tone icon. So I've been able to choose the skin tone that I want to use. Now, one of the features that we've added to InPrint 4 is what we've called shuffle skin tone. We had a lot of requests for being able to change the skin tone of all resources randomly in one go rather than having to do them individually. And we thought very long and hard about doing this because it does potentially cause or could potentially cause some upsets and some issues. So let me show you how it works. So I am going to choose the table. So right click, select table, because I want this to work on everything. I'm going to go into skin tone and hit shuffle skin tone. Now you can see what's happened there is it's put in different random skin tones. If I'm not happy with what I've got, I can what's called advance on the skin tone icon, and that just moves everything along one, and then the darkest goes to the lightest. So if I advance again, just moves everything up one. Now that's fine, and that's really good in terms of creating resources very quickly for a whole class, a whole school, a whole setting where you want to show different skin tones because you're representing different groups of children and you want to be inclusive. One of the reasons that we were reluctant to do it is what's occurred here. So it is random, but it is possible that in that randomness, it's going to select the same skin tone for what we would potentially think of as negative emotions or negative connotations. And that's not necessarily a message that we want to give. So we'd always ask, please just go through and double check, are you happy with what's come out? Or would it be better to maybe have sad change to a different skin tone so that we haven't always got the negative connotations in the same skin tone or the positive connotations in the same skin tone, so that you are, going through double checking and randomizing yourself a little bit. And we do have in the help sheets quite an extensive skin tones document that talks you through when it's right to use single skin tone, when it's right to shuffle skin tone, when it's right to advance, etc. So it's really worth, again, having a look at this. Takes a long time to load because there's quite a lot to it. And we've put in lots of different definitions of what we mean. And again, lots of examples of when using skin tone is right and using it is not such a good thing to do. So when you've got a single person, for example, you want to make sure that that single person has the same skin tone. But if you're putting something in that's got lots of people in, you want that to be varied, but the single skin tone for the individual. So this is when shuffle wouldn't work because you want the same one for each person. So again, you just have to be aware of that with that new feature. Another new feature that is coming but hasn't yet made it, and it will make it in one of the later updates later this year, is something that we're going to call, actually, to be honest, I'm not quite sure what they're going to call it, but basically internally we've called it negative markers. So some of our symbols will have, if we have hitting, for example, we also have no hitting. And that's already in the symbol set. So I can put that in. But what we are going to have is the ability to negate, to put a negative marker on any symbol at all. So even if it doesn't exist in the symbol set, it will actually draw it effectively for you. So you'll be able to have those negative markers on anything you want. So for example, let's just add a page in here. It might be that we don't want any dogs in the restaurant. So rather than having to kind of put the cross on yourself or have no dogs written like that or like that, what you'll be able to do when the feature arrives is put that red, it'll automatically put that red line on when you hit the negative markers icon. So that will be coming soon. It's in test at the moment and will be coming with one of the later releases. So you've got new interfaces, you've got new templates, you've got new resources, you've got the ability to shuffle skin tone, you've got negative markers coming. And then the other, to say, the other really big thing I would say is around templates, presentations. So I'm in resources and I'm going to open the presentations folder. And again, now we have 4 different sections and these are mirrored within the templates as well, which I'll show you in a moment. So Kate and myself made all of these presentations. There's over 80 different examples, along with the PDF to tell you how to get started. And we always suggest when you're having a look at presentations for the first time that you go into one of the pre-made ones. So different activities here. So you've got the interactive diagram for parts of a flower, floating and sinking experiment, recipe for making biscuits and colourful semantics ones there, different shapes. You've got books and information. So you've got books on Diwali. We've got Little Red Riding Hood story there. We've got a story mountain, things about the rainforest, Green Cross Code, etc. So lots of different examples of books, different examples of life cycles. So the butterfly, chicken, a frog, and the water cycle there. And we have lots of different examples of quizzes as well. And it's a quiz that I want to show you and demonstrate how it works. So I'm going to go into the Woodland Animals Initial Letter quiz. So this is all made in InPrint 4, just in the way you would normally make resources. In your image library, bottom right hand corner, some of you might not have discovered the image library before, but it's a good place to look for different resources as well. Widget Media now has a presentation folder, and within that presentation folder you've got different backgrounds and different buttons for moving on. Standard widescreen, and we'll use one of these in a moment when we amend something. But that's what's gone in here to give the background for this presentation. Now this is initial letters, so I've made the first slide, and what I want to know is what does rabbit start with? Now when we play it in a moment you'll see exactly how it works, but anything that is incorrect links, so we've got a little link here to another slide, and in this case it will link to a slide that says no, that's incorrect, try again. If I get it right, it will link to a slide that says yes, that's correct, here's the next one. So I'm going to export this into PowerPoint. Hopefully it will appear on the right screen and we'll be able to see it, but I want to show you how to do that anyway. So back to File. It's under the Print button, so I'm going to go Print bottom left. That's different from how it used to look as well, if you're familiar with InPrint 3. And I get Export as a presentation. So we're going to export this, and I want to open it after it's been saved so that you can see it. Just waiting for that. Right, that's gone on that screen. So I'm hoping that if I move it here, Gavin, can you see that PowerPoint?
Yep, we can see that.
Lovely, great, okay. Right, now I'm going to play this for you so we can see exactly what it looks like when we play it. So now if I get this wrong, it tells me no, try again. If I get it right, it tells me yes, that's correct, gives me the correct spelling, and then I can move on. So this one we know is wrong, this one we know is right, and so on and so forth. So it makes it a very interactive resource. I'm going to move on to the end, and you can see what happens at the end. So there we go. So when we get the last one right, then it's telling us it's well done, and that's at the end of that presentation. So it means that you can get some interactivity in PowerPoint and Google Slides without having to snip the symbols out and put them into your own resources. So that is that. Let's close that one down. So if we went back to new now, to the presentation templates folder, you'll see that again, you've got those same categories, but also the ability to create from scratch, which again, we'll have a look at in a minute. So if I go back into that quiz and open the same one, which was initial 6 letters. So this is now a blank template where I can put my own word in and my own options. The crosses are the wrong ones, the 0 is the right one, and those links are automatically there to the correct place on this particular template. So let's fill this one in. I don't want this woodland background anymore. So from my image library, I'm going to go back to those backgrounds. This is widescreen, and I want, we do want a theme, but we're going to put a theme of, let's have jungle animals. So that's the one I'm going to choose here, Jungle 2. Now, in order to place it in the right position and for it to take place in every single one of these templates, these slides, I need to do this on the Pages ribbon and the Edit Header and Footer. So if I drop it into the header, it will automatically resize and fill in all of these. So let's keep everything crossed, pick that up and drop that in there. And then we need to go back to Pages and Edit Header and Footer. Sorry, I need to find where I close. Oh, there it is, Header and Footer on the ribbon, close Header and Footer, and keeping everything crossed that it's going to change all of those. But it doesn't look like it's going to. So let's try that again. Edit Header and Footer. Probably didn't drop it into the right place, knowing me. Pop it in there. There we go. That looks better, I think. This is trouble when you do a live demo, isn't it? Close Header and Footer. There we go. It's gone into each of those screens there. So yeah, drop it into the header and footer at the top. I think I missed that when I did it. What we can do then is start to fill this in the normal way. Just make that a bit smaller so you can see it. So I'm going to fill this one in, and this is going to be jungle animals. So just in the same way that we would put any symbolisation into InPrint, maybe change that symbol as well. And then we can put in our first example. So our first example is going to be, I can't think of an animal that lives in the jungle now, a monkey. We'll delete one there. I'm going to delete that cell as well. Okay. And then we can put the wrong ones in here. T, right one in here. M, etc. Leave an X and a P and a Q or whatever we want to put in. So very quick and easy to amend that template. And as I say, all of those links are already there. If I wanted to amend the buttons because they don't now fit the theme, then I can go, as I say, back to Media, Widget Media, my image library, and I can replace with a different button, choosing the one that I want here, just deleting this one and putting the new one on. So we can, that link, put that one over the top there like that. Okay, and that will then move that one on as well. So that's if I wanted to create from the template. I would then save this. Now this is slightly different again from previous versions. So the save is in the top left here, little drop down arrow, save document as, and then I can save that wherever I want it to go within my network. We don't want to save this one, we're just going to leave that. So let's go back home again, back to that parent folder. And those templates. So I don't want to, this time I don't want to create from a template. This time I want to create from a presentation myself. So I can go into presentation, the blank. And I've got automatically got that presentation. Now that presentation ribbon, that tab automatically appears for me whenever I'm in presentation mode. And within that, it gives me how to add in the links. So again, I can put in a background if I want. I can create new pages from my page manager here on the left-hand side. So we'll just add in a couple more pages. I can put in my frames. Again, this is slightly different. So rather than just having frames and tables available in the new documents that we used to have, you can now get at them whether you are in a template or within presentation mode. So we can put in a cell here, and we can fill that in the same way we would with any other. We can put in the background color of that. Again, this is all very similar for you because it's the same in Widget Online. It's the same in, oh, sorry, that's gone into the big one there. Click in that one and we can put it in that one as well. Cells. Put that one in as a darker one. And so you can do all of those amendments that you've always done and loved with InPrint. If I want to link this now to one of my other pages, then I can, from my presentation ribbon, add link to the slide. And that might go to the next slide, the previous slide, the first slide, the last viewed slide, or any of the slides that I've currently created. So it gives me the options to link, move around and create that interactivity that we saw on the examples. Okay, so that's a very brief introduction to presentation mode. I do want to show you where you can find more information. Now I'm hoping again that this is going to be okay. Yeah, so this is the website, hopefully you can see. To find out more about InPrint 4, support on the Widget website, widget.com, and InPrint 4. So this is where you would download the latest version. So if you do have InPrint 3 subscription, you will automatically get InPrint 4. You download the version, put your existing key in, and that will automatically update. You do have help sheets and the full manual. You do have information about all the resource packs that are included. And we're currently working on all of our resources and the ability for somebody within InPrint 4 to access any of the resources that are on the website without paying. They'll just automatically be available to you. They're not automatically installed with the subscription, but you can install them yourself, and you can install them yourself. You don't need an administrator to do that. You've got information about all the new templates. You've got information about presentation export that I've just explained. And you've got access to a getting started webinar where you can book your place or watch a pre-recorded version on how to use InPrint and all of the features of InPrint if you've never used widget software before. So that's a really useful place to look. Another place I just want to draw your attention to, because we're aware that lots of people do symbolisation, but not everybody manages to do good symbolisation. So we try to draw people's attention to our About Symbols section of the website and the Guide to Good Symbol Content at the bottom here. So again, there's lots of information here, but the 5 basic rules are well worth having a look at in terms of improving your symbolisation when you are creating resources. I won't go through those now because I'm looking at the time and thinking we need some questions. But I do recommend that you do access those resources and have a read as to how to make your symbol content really effective. Right, I'm going to stop, Gavin. I'm going to leave my screen share on, given the difficulties that we had, in case somebody wants me to demo something. But I don't know if there are any questions that have come up.
I am going to come along to here then, beside you, and just find out. Are there any questions in the audience? I don't think I've seen any. I've seen that Abigail is on the train and watching it as well.
Right.
Or trying to watch it on a train, but we all know
Trying
what
to watch it.
what the reception is like. Yeah. On it, I don't have any other questions whatsoever. I didn't realise how much stuff was actually in InPrint 4 or InPrint 3, because you said lots of it was still in InPrint 3, um,
Yes.
that
So
Widget can do.
yeah, I know. We've so when we moved to subscription mode for InPrint 3 in November 2021, and we did add a lot of new things in then, but we didn't really publish it much, I suppose, or publicize it very much. We're obviously with InPrint 4, we have added even more, particularly around the templates and the resources and those new features. And other things will come. So this is not the end of InPrint 4. Because it's subscription, as I say, there'll be new things coming all the time, like the negative markers. And the other thing we hope to be able to do is to be able to um, allow people to update symbols. So with Widget Online, symbols are automatically updated through the cloud version. With InPrint, it's always been a case of having to get a new
Mm.
update and get your administrator to add that for you. So we do know that people quite often are behind in terms of the symbol content, but the team are working on a way of getting symbols updated regularly without an administrator needing to be involved. So when we put out new symbols we've just done some family symbols, for example, or we just update the set for lots of new ones that have been drawn, people will be able to do that themselves without having to get an administrator, and you'll be prompted to do that as well. So that one's coming. I think I'm trying to think of the other things that they're working on, but obviously new resources, we're doing those all the time. And any of the new resources that we do put out, should have mentioned that actually. Where's my cursor gone? Different screen, here we go. Let me just go back to resource packs here for a minute. Any new resources that go out will have phonics and, well, not phonics, this is a phonics resource, but we'll have PowerPoints and quizzes and presentations as part of it, so that you'll be able to actually run those presentations automatically and or again amend them if you want to.
Okay, so that's saving time for the teachers then.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So this is what we want to do, obviously, is do as many things as we can to save time for colleagues who we know are obviously always facing time up to it. But so, particularly as say those, so that phonics pack, really, really nice ones that's gone into PowerPoint, hasn't it? There we go. This phonics set, loads of really amazing things in there. So Sally, in particular, worked really hard on this phonics pack. But
Okay.
again, with the new things that have come out, there's some nice Gingerbread Man is a new resource, and again, we've got PowerPoint presentations for those traditional tales as well, that obviously you can just put straight up onto the screen, and then get the children asking the questions and things as well with that. So lots to explore. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks huge. It looks huge. You're gonna have to have the hour training session. Looks like a good idea for anybody who's kind of got it. Just to sit there and just write notes of everything else that you can do with it, because
Yeah,
there's so much. And it's not the only thing that you can do with the widget stuff, because as we've seen in the magazine article that we've got coming out from you, you can use it anywhere, can't you? You've got the
absolutely.
playground that we're just about to publish, or it is actually on the website, but shh, people, you're not meant to know that yet.
Yeah, communication boards in playgrounds. So there are 60 up in Warwickshire. There
Okay.
are 6 up in Luton, and there are 30 on order in Suffolk. So if you are in a county and you think that the communication playground boards would be useful in your county, or indeed in your school, yeah, do get in touch, because we're able to provide those as well.
Yeah, it just makes sense. If you put the symbols everywhere, it just makes it easier for everybody to be able to understand and read what is there very quickly without having to decipher what the word is. And
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, big
Yeah, and you
advocate for
say
widget.
with the dementia pack as well, obviously, that's
Mm,
say we've gone into that. And again, we worked with an organisation, a charity, Bob's Brainwaves, to produce this. So it's worked with, dementia patients themselves and with carers in that field. But and again, you say that one is free on the website, but obviously amendable whenever you and editable whenever you go into it. So I haven't gone into today any of the ways that you can, put your own
Yeah,
put your own photographs in, change the color of symbols, combine text and things. But that is all in the training. What we wanted to do was show you the new
yeah,
things for InPrint
yeah,
for today. Yeah,
yeah. So
bar
go
the
out there
technical hitch.
by the technical
Mm.
hitch, yeah, which might have slightly been my fault. Well, just blame me anyway, because that's what normally
Yeah,
happens in
definitely
this
your fault.
place. Yeah, just blame me. That's the way it works. I still don't have any questions from anybody, so I think we're about on time. I'm just trying to look really, really closely at the camera, the screen time there. We're about another 2 minutes, but I am
Okay.
happy to kind of just to I suppose let it go there. And if anybody is on the recording and wondering what we're going on about, you won't know that there was a technical error because we'll just cut that bit out. So don't worry
Ah,
about
lovely. Okay.
that. All right. Yeah,
Brilliant.
there's
I'm going to
always ways.
just stop sharing.
Yep, stop sharing. There we go.
Then
Who's
hopefully
back?
you can see me. Yeah, you can see it. It's hot in the office today.
I've
Glowing.
I've got the window over next to me because in the studio it just becomes so warm with all the computer
Yeah,
equipment on and the
yeah.
sun coming down on it and everything else. So at least there's no pigeons that walking across the roof to
Oh, right.
distract me today. So
Okay. Lovely.
so
Well,
thank you.
thank you very much. And so,
Yep.
yeah, any questions, following up on
Oh,
this, then obviously, we are available at info@widget.com. So please
ah,
send
there you
those
go.
through at any time.
Sophie said she can't stay any longer,
Ah,
but she would just like to say thank you so much for your demo and the new widget online. We found it super useful and helpful. So,
okay.
there you go.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, so
Lovely.
there
Thank
was
you very
there
much.
was there was somebody commenting, so I
There was
feel
somebody there.
I feel better now.
All right.
Right, everybody, we shall let you go. Enjoy the sunshine. We are not back now until the 16th of April, when we are with Speech and Language Link doing the oracy one that was delayed because Yin was not very well at that point there, but she's hopefully better. I'm back from holiday in a couple of days' time, so she should be much better. And we will see you for that one there. And I think on the I can't even remember what the 17th is. The 17th we're doing something else as well. But Abigail's doing that one, so we'll put that up onto the website. Do make sure that you join any of the other ones that we've got in the future. And from May, you won't have to register for any of the webinars that we're doing as well. We've removed the registration piece on it because it was another thing that you had to do. So if you're a member of the website, you'll just be able to come along to the live session and that's it. Just watch. It's that simple now. So nice, easy system that we've got. Sue, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I hope you enjoyed the summer holiday, or the, not summer holidays, the holiday piece as well, because I'm sure you're going to have at least one day off.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes. Yeah, we obviously we get the bank holidays off, but I might sneak in a couple more as well.
There you go. Right. See you everyone later. Sue, just down for a bit. Right. Bye.